In the heart of a dense forest, where ancient trees whispered secrets to the wind and shadows danced in the moonlight, there lurked a terror that had haunted the land for centuries. It was said that when the moon hung full and bright in the night sky, the creatures of the wood shed their human forms and embraced the primal instincts that dwelled within them. Among these creatures, none were more feared than the werewolves. Legend spoke of a curse that had befallen a once noble family, condemning them to a fate worse than death. Under the light of the full moon, they transformed into savage beasts, their human minds consumed by a hunger for flesh and blood. For generations, the curse had plagued the family, passing from parent to child like a dark inheritance. As the story goes, the last surviving member of the cursed bloodline was a young woman named Alara. She lived in solitude deep within the forest, far from prying eyes and the whispers of superstition. But even in her isolation, Alara could not escape the fate that had befallen her kin. On the night of the full moon, as the sky turned a ghostly shade of silver and the air grew thick with the scent of fear, Alara felt the curse stir within her. She tried to fight it, to cling to her humanity with every fiber of her being, but the beast that dwelled within her was relentless. With a howl that echoed through the trees, Alara's transformation began. Her bones cracked and twisted, her skin rippled and tore, and in a matter of moments, she stood before the world as a creature of nightmares, a werewolf, with eyes as black as midnight and fangs as sharp as daggers. Driven by instinct and hunger, Alara prowled through the forest, her senses heightened and her mind clouded by bloodlust. She hunted in the darkness, her prey unaware of the danger that lurked in the shadows. But as the night wore on and the moon began to wane, a flicker of humanity stirred within Alara's soul. She fought against the beast within her, struggling to regain control of her mind and body. With every ounce of willpower she possessed, she pushed back against the curse, desperate to break free from its grip. And then, just as dawn began to break on the horizon, Alara felt the curse release its hold on her. She collapsed to the forest floor, her body battered and bruised, but her spirit unbroken. She had survived another night, but the curse still lingered, a constant reminder of the darkness that dwelled within her. As the sun rose and cast its warm embrace upon the forest, Alara knew that her struggle was far from over. The curse of the werewolf would continue to haunt her, lurking in the shadows and waiting for the next full moon to rise. But she refused to surrender to despair. With courage in her heart and determination in her soul, Alara vowed to fight against the curse until her last breath, for she knew that as long as there was light in the world, there was hope for redemption. And so, the tale of Alara and the curse of the werewolf continues to unfold, a story of darkness and light, of fear and courage, of the eternal struggle between humanity and the beast within us all. As the days passed and the memory of the full moon's terror faded like a chilling dream, Alara found herself haunted by the knowledge that the curse still lurked within her. She sought solace in the quiet of the forest, hoping to find answers that had eluded her for so long. But as she delved deeper into the mysteries of her cursed lineage, Alara uncovered secrets that shook her to her core. Whispers of ancient rituals and forbidden magic danced on the wind, hinting at a darkness far greater than she had ever imagined. Determined to break the curse that had plagued her family for generations, Alara embarked on a perilous journey into the heart of the forest, guided by a flicker of hope and the faint echo of a long-forgotten legend. Along the way, she encountered allies and adversaries alike, each with their own hidden agendas and motives shrouded in shadow. Some sought to aid her in her quest for redemption, while others sought to exploit her cursed nature for their own sinister purposes. As the full moon loomed large in the sky once more, casting its eerie glow upon the forest, Alara knew that her time was running out. With the curse threatening to consume her completely, she must unravel the tangled web of lies and deceit that had ensnared her family for centuries. But as she delved deeper into the darkness, Alara soon realized that some secrets were better left buried, and that the true nature of the curse may be more terrifying than she could have ever imagined. And so, as the moon rose high above the treetops and the shadows stirred with malevolent intent, Alara braced herself for the final battle against the curse of the werewolf, a battle that would test her courage, her strength, and her very humanity. But whether she would emerge victorious or succumb to the darkness that threatened to consume her, only time would tell. As Alara delved deeper into the mysteries surrounding her cursed lineage, she uncovered fragments of an ancient prophecy whispered among the shadows of the forest. It spoke of a chosen one, destined to break the cycle of the curse and bring salvation to those afflicted by its malevolent grasp. Haunted by the possibility that she might be the chosen one foretold in the prophecy, Alara's resolve hardened like steel. She ventured deeper into the heart of the forest, guided by the faint whispers of the ancients and the flickering light of hope that burned within her soul. Yet, with every step she took, the darkness seemed to close in around her, twisting the very fabric of reality and blurring the lines between truth and illusion. Allies turned to enemies, and enemies to allies, as the tangled web of deceit tightened its grip upon her. In her quest for redemption, Alara encountered beings of ancient power and unfathomable darkness, each holding a piece of the puzzle that could unlock the secrets of the curse. But as she pieced together the fragments of the prophecy, she realized that the true nature of her destiny was far more complex than she had ever imagined. For woven into the tapestry of fate was a choice that would determine not only her own future, but the fate of all those touched by the curse. And as the full moon rose once more, casting its ghostly light upon the forest, Alara knew that the time had come to confront the darkness that lurked within her own heart. With the fate of her family, her kin, and perhaps even the world hanging in the balance, Alara stood at the precipice of destiny, ready to embrace her true purpose and fulfill the prophecy that had haunted her for so long. But whether she would succeed in breaking the curse and bringing salvation to those who suffered, or whether she would be consumed by the darkness that threatened to consume her, remained uncertain. And so, as the moon hung heavy in the sky and the forest echoed with the howls of the damned, Alara prepared to face her ultimate destiny, a destiny that would shape the very fabric of the world itself. As Alara stood on the threshold of her destiny, a shroud of uncertainty enveloped her like a cloak of shadows. The prophecy whispered of a choice, but the path forward remained veiled in mystery, obscured by the machinations of powers beyond mortal comprehension. With each passing moment, the weight of the curse pressed down upon her shoulders, threatening to crush her spirit and extinguish the flicker of hope that burned within her. Yet, amidst the darkness, a glimmer of light pierced the gloom, a revelation that shook Alara to her core. She discovered that the curse of the werewolf was not merely a curse of the flesh, but a curse of the soul, a reflection of the primal desires and inner turmoil that lurked within every human heart. And in order to break the curse, she would need to confront not only the beast that dwelled within her but also the darkest corners of her own being. Driven by a newfound determination, Alara embarked on a journey of self-discovery, delving deep into the depths of her own consciousness in search of the truth that lay hidden within. Along the way, she encountered trials and tribulations that tested her resolve and pushed her to the very brink of despair. But as she confronted the demons of her past and confronted the shadows that lurked within her own soul, Alara began to unlock the true power that lay dormant within her. With each revelation, she grew stronger, her spirit blazing like a beacon in the darkness, guiding her towards her ultimate destiny. And so, as the full moon rose once more and cast its ghostly light upon the forest, Alara stood ready to face the greatest challenge of her life. With the fate of her family, her kin, and perhaps even the world hanging in the balance, she knew that the time had come to make her choice, to embrace the darkness that threatened to consume her or to rise above it and claim her rightful place as the chosen one foretold in the prophecy. But as she gazed into the swirling depths of the night sky, a sense of foreboding gripped her heart, for she knew that the true test of her strength and courage was yet to come. And whether she would emerge victorious or succumb to the darkness that threatened to engulf her, only time would tell. As Alara stood on the precipice of destiny, the weight of her burden threatened to crush her spirit. The revelation of the harbinger of night and its insidious influence cast a shadow of doubt upon her every thought and action. With each passing moment, the lines between ally and enemy blurred, leaving her to navigate treacherous waters with no compass to guide her. In the depths of the forest, where the ancient trees whispered secrets and the moonlight danced upon the tangled undergrowth, Alara sought counsel from the wisest of beings. But even the venerable guardians of the woods spoke in riddles, their cryptic words offering little solace in the face of impending doom. As the full moon bathed the land in its eerie glow, Alara found herself torn between the desire to protect her loved ones and the need to confront the darkness that threatened to consume her. With every fiber of her being, She longed to break free from the shackles of fate and forge her own path, but the pull of destiny was a powerful force that refused to be ignored. In the depths of her despair, a voice whispered in the recesses of her mind, a voice that spoke of sacrifice and redemption, of courage in the face of despair. It was the voice of her ancestors, calling out to her from beyond the veil of time, urging her to embrace her true power and rise above the darkness that sought to ensnare her. With newfound determination coursing through her veins, Alara embarked on a journey of self-discovery, delving deep into the recesses of her own soul in search of the strength to confront her demons. Along the way, she encountered trials and tribulations that tested her resolve, pushing her to the very brink of despair. But as she stared into the abyss of her own existence, Alara discovered a truth that had eluded her for so long. The power to change her destiny lay not in the hands of fate, but within her own heart. With this revelation burning like a beacon in the darkness, she vowed to defy the Harbinger and break the curse that had plagued her family for generations. And so, as the full moon reached its zenith and the forest echoed with the howls of the damned, Alara stood ready to face her ultimate destiny. With the fate of the world hanging in the balance, she knew that the time had come to make her stand, to embrace the light within her and banish the darkness once and for all. But whether she would emerge victorious or be consumed by the shadows that threatened to engulf her, only time would tell. As Alara braced herself for the final confrontation, a sense of foreboding weighed heavy upon her heart. Despite her newfound resolve and unwavering determination, the forces of darkness proved relentless in their pursuit. With every step forward, she felt their icy grip tightening around her, threatening to drag her down into the abyss. In the heart of the forest, amidst the twisted branches and tangled roots, Alara faced the Harbinger of Night in a battle that would decide the fate of the world. The air crackled with dark energy as the two adversaries clashed, their powers colliding in a cataclysmic struggle that shook the very foundations of reality. But in the end, it was not strength or courage that determined the outcome, but sacrifice. As the final blow was struck and the darkness threatened to engulf her, Alara made the ultimate choice to give herself over to the darkness in order to save those she loved. And so, as the moon faded from the sky and the forest fell silent, Alara's fate was sealed. She became a prisoner of the darkness, a slave to the very forces she had fought so hard to defy. Her sacrifice was a bitter reminder of the cruel irony of destiny, a reminder that even the noblest of intentions could lead to the darkest of ends. As the world mourned the loss of its champion, whispers of Alara's bravery echoed through the ages, a testament to the sacrifices made in the name of hope. But deep within the shadows, her spirit lingered, a silent guardian watching over the world she had fought so hard to protect. And so, as the darkness crept ever closer and the echoes of Alara's sacrifice faded into the void, the world was left to ponder the true cost of heroism, a cost paid not in gold or glory, but in blood and tears.